Welcome, brethren. The latest meeting of the Board of General Purposes was held last week on the 12th and 13th of December. As has become customary in our December meeting, this is one to which we invite the Grand Lodge New Zealand trustees, which is chaired by our most worshipful brother Mike Pope, past Grand Master. Whilst the trustees are with us, which is usually for the first half of the first day, we receive reports and updates of our key partners, namely Heartland Bank, JB Weir, Crombie Lockwood and our auditors. Heartland Bank advises that the funds on deposit, that is in the Grand Lodge deposit scheme, are slightly down on previous years, currently around the 38 million mark. Heartland has been contacted the lodges to ensure that they are all on the correct interest rate and will be extending this to individual account holders in the new year. Their rates and other explanations of the differences between what they offer will also be published in the next Freemasons magazine, due out early next year. They are a key partner to us, and I do encourage you, if you do have any deposits or monies that you would like to invest, to give them a ring and see what they can offer. JB Weir manages the investments of the Freemasons Charity, the Potter Masonic Trust, the Hugh McDougall Rankin Educational Trust and the Lawson Smith Freemasons Education Trust. For the purposes of this update, I will concentrate on the Freemasons Charity. For the period of 1st of July 2017 to the 4th of December 2017, the portfolio has recorded an overall positive return of 7.66%, which is nearly 1.9 million, which is a good performance. As for the 12 months to the 30th of September 2017, annual income was 951,000, or just a shade over, which is less than our annual targeted amount of 1.2 million, but still significant and will still enable the Freemasons Charity to continue the excellent work that it is doing. To find out more about individual grants and the work of the charity, please look at the annual report and on the website of the Freemasons magazine. Insurance is always a hot topic, and Crombie Lockwood, represented by Ian Martin, gave a presentation to update the board and trustees on today's market. Let's just cast our minds back to this time last year, so in 2016-17, we managed to obtain significant discounts to our costs, a reduction of over 34% for Grand Lodge and 23% for our own lodges, that's the buildings. However, 2017 has really been the perfect storm for all insurance companies. A number of natural catastrophic events globally as well as in Australasia. As a result of this, we have seen natural disaster rates increase back to the heights that they were in 2014. Our current suppliers, QBE, were offering significantly increased rates, some 65% across all Grand Lodge and Craft. So we went out to seek further applications. There has been limited market response or appetite, mainly due to the risk locations we have, partly our loss history, and of course the buildings, pre-1935 lodges, which have less than 34% of building code standards. In general, the renewal market was indicating rate increases minimum of 10% upwards, and we also have of course the increase to the fire services levy introduced on the 1st of July, which was 40%. Having said all this, I'm pleased to advise that we have, from our discussions, now put insurances in place for both Grand Lodge and the Craft. Craft Lodge insurances with Chubb, premiums are up by about 15%. One key area of change which you need to note is the excess for buildings pre-post 1935 or with an MBS of less than 35%. The excess will be 10% of the location sum insured, subject to a minimum excess of 10,000. The location sum insured is the total insured under the individual lodge's cover for that location. So, if you have insured your building for 400,000, your excess will be 40,000. Full advisory has already been provided to Craft Lodges around the changes by insurers, and you should have the background and results. If you need any more information, please contact National Office, the Executive Director, for further comments. Now, the board does acknowledge that this is an increase, but considering the state of the market at the moment, it's not a bad result. We were also fortunate enough at this meeting to be joined by Jack Steer, who is the CEO of the New Zealand RSA. Freemasonry New Zealand and the RSA have been talking with regards to looking at areas in where we could work together to look better. Now let's be clear though, this is not a recruitment activity. This is two like-minded organisations looking to see how we can work together and maximise our resources. And to this end, we have signed a memorandum of understanding so that we can explore these opportunities. Initiatives will be identified, which I expect to start slowly and gradually build up in different ways around the country depending on the location. The trustees then left our meeting and we took on for board meeting only. As always at the beginning of each board meeting, the board observes a moment's silence in respect of those brethren who have departed since our last meeting. On this occasion that was 18 in total. This time it was a little different, as 3 active officers were included in the list. They were Very Worshipful Brother Merv Johnson, District Grand Master, Kapiti Wellington District, Worshipful Brother Jeffrey Evans, District Grand DC, County Hauraki District, and Worshipful Brother Bruce Scott, Grand Sword Bearer, Up Wairarapa District. Our thoughts and condolences go out not to just these families, but all families in Freemasonry that have lost a loved one. Next on our agenda was the report on the tercentenary of the United Grand Lodge of England. Both our Grand Master and Deputy Grand Master had attended the event in October. Over 4,500 Freemasons attended, including 137 Grand Masters. There is a detailed report in the December edition of the Freemasons magazine, but our Grand Master and Deputy Grand Master did us proud. They spent time planning their trip before leaving, meeting with the New Zealand High Commissioner, the Right Honourable Sir Jerry Matapari at New Zealand House, and they also met with the Grand Lodge of Scotland in Edinburgh and the Grand Lodge of Ireland in Dublin. They also found the time to attend a couple of lodge meetings. The Grand Lodge in New Zealand was well promoted, and it would be fair to say that the Grand Master and Deputy Grand Master really did us proud. They certainly walked the talk. That is, they spoke up for Freemasonry. The Freemasons Charity. Right Worshipful Brother Graham Wrigley, Deputy Grand Master, presented the charity report. Grants totalling 47,800 had been made since the last board meeting. 20 grants, 57% of the total for the period, related to lodge or district projects, which was really great to hear. As you may be aware, our charity administrator, Sheila Hicking, is currently away on sick leave. I am sure that you will join the board and I in wishing Sheila the very best for a speedy and quick recovery. Take care, Sheila. In the next part of the meeting, the board considered several papers covering a variety of topics, such as the possible establishment of a university lodge. Whilst in England, the Grand Master and Deputy Grand Master took the opportunity to meet with a university lodge, which is having considerable success. To enable one of these, we would need to make some changes to the Book of Constitutions, such as lowering the age of membership for all men to 18. Other topics, the possible establishment of an internet lodge in New Zealand, an updated loyalty card proposal, and the role of the divisional appointee. The divisional appointee onto the board is a critical role, but some changes to the position description are warranted. The divisional appointee is more of a director, and they are there for the skill sets and the skill sets they bring to the table. They are crucial in assisting the craft to move forward. All of the above proposals have been supported by the board for further investigation and for recommendations as to course of action and changes. And we expect these to be brought back to the board early in 2018, hopefully at our February meeting. The use of photography and video in lodge rooms has also become a hot topic. Is it appropriate, or isn't it? A paper was shared on suggested protocols to avoid the inappropriate use of photography and videos within the lodge room whilst the lodge is open. From the subsequent discussion, it was clear that protocols were needed to be put in place to protect the privacy of our members and to ensure our ceremonial and our traditions continue to be treated with the respect they deserve. This, along with several other topics, including mobile phones being in lodge rooms, will be discussed with the Divisional Grand Masters when we meet with them in January. I'm also pleased to report that in response to a paper from the Divisional Grand Masters around the 2018 Divisional Conferences, an amount of $5,000 per conference has been approved to assist with activity that will encourage members to attend. This is not just past masters, but hopefully entered apprentices, fellow crafts and master masons. The next session of the board meeting was dedicated to looking at and considering the remits from the lodges. Firstly, thank you all for having taken the time to submit the remits. We had several, covering a wide range of topics. These are all now being considered and the topics researched further as required. The board then moved into business as usual activity, that is the ratification of bylaw changes since the board meeting and the presentation and approval of the annual accounts and annual reports. Both of these will be in the next edition of the Freemasons magazine and also on our website. To oversee the financial aspects of Freemasonry is no mean feat, and very worshipful Brother Ray Burgess, our Grand Treasurer, has done a great job. Ray has recently finished his appointment, and very worshipful Brother Mike Cadman is now the new Grand Treasurer. Having said that, Mike is recovering from a visit to the hospital, so Ray has kindly agreed to stand in as Grand Treasurer until Mike is fit. This is the kind of Freemason Ray is. His passion for Freemasonry and the efforts he has put in are to be applauded. As such, I am pleased to advise that the Grand Master used our last meeting of the year to promote Ray to Right Worshipful Ray Burgess, past Grand Warden. On behalf of all Freemasonry, Ray, congratulations, well deserved. In closing, brethren, I cannot believe that it is over a year now from when I took over as President. The board has had an extremely busy year, but it has been rewarding and I believe we have been successful. We are beginning to see the early successes from our Speak Up for Freemasonry initiative. The required changes to National Office are commencing with the appointment of a new Executive Director, and communications both within the craft and externally are improving. In fact, we've seen much national coverage, particularly via social media. Also, as we end the year, financially speaking, in a much better place, having sold Willow Street and declaring a small surplus of 130,000 for the year, which we are not keeping in the bank, will be used to support districts and divisions in promoting the craft. On behalf of the board, I thank you for your cooperation this year, and we wish you the very best over the holidays and the new year. If you are travelling, travel safe. I will see you in 2018. Thank you.